All right, back to Katie Pavlich, whose mic was controlled by the mainstream media. Our mics are now in place. Katie Pavlich on how the media tends to ignore the kind of things that are going on in Washington, namely that the middle class is getting off scot-free of these tax hikes when now they know otherwise. What do you make of that?
Right. So the White House sent out an email yesterday to supporters saying, thank you for helping us not getting taxes raised on the middle class through our My2K program. That was a Twitter hashtag that they used for people to write what they would do with $2,000 and how they were going to miss that money if we went over the fiscal cliff. The media blew it up, said middle-class families are going to pay $2,000 more in taxes if we go over the fiscal cliff and don't get a deal. And here we are after the fiscal cliff. 77% of households are seeing an increase in taxes of an average of $1,600, and the media is nowhere to be found.
Now, many in the media, including us, but not just us, said that, look, the payroll tax is going away and you will pay more, but they weren't joined at the hip. In other words, they said, yes, the big tax story is that the rich are going to pay more, some of them a lot more, but that you are left out of this sort of tax-ageddon thing, when in fact, by taking away the payroll tax cut, everyone's going to be feeling something.
Right. Well, I think that the media, not, of course, your show, Neil, but the rest of the media dropped the ball in the sense that they didn't really talk about this payroll tax
like it didn't
expiring.
Matter, like it was an ancillary
Like it wasn't
event.
a big deal.
Right.
It was just, change that they weren't going to miss. But you have, sites like Twitchy.com aggregating tweets about people asking, why is my paycheck less? One of the top Google searches the day after payday last week was, why is my paycheck less? Why do I have less money? And so people, A, didn't see it coming, and now, B, the mainstream media, who is all about this middle class tax increase, aren't talking about the fact that 77% of middle class families have seen their taxes increase.
I don't want to sound paranoid like one of these crazy types, but between, the media just glossing over this story, talking about socioeconomic news as if it's good, I'm almost beginning to think there's an agenda here.
Really? Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because in the White House email that David Plouffe, White House advisor, sent out yesterday to supporters, he actually said, reporters are writing about your My2K stories on Twitter. They're talking about how you would miss that money. And so the White House knows they can use the media to promote their agenda. And when the White House sends out an email saying, thank you for allowing us to keep middle class tax increases down, the media is not reporting that because they automatically go with taxes haven't been increased on the middle class, even though the opposite is true. Could
you imagine the other way around? And we got thank you letters from the prior occupant of the White House commending blah, blah, blah. Man, oh man, be like, stinker, you know
no.
what. Katie, thank you very, very
Thanks,
much.
Neil.
Katie Pavlich.